Pine Top Lakeside is on right now.
Oh, okay.
The
cool.
whole town is on.
Oh my God.
They're a huge fan of Lauren Rachel's talk show.
Yay.
Mucho
the whole
nicer.
Town.
Yeah, Joey's like, this is mucho nicer than the Murder Shack. You have no idea, dude. But the green room, the VIP green room was like, I would love to do the show in there.
Yes.
But this is amazing.
We're good?
All right.
Audio's good for both of us?
Yes, amazing.
Good. Oops.
How's Chris's
Pooping
left
my butt.
nipple? We're
How's
good?
my left nipple?
Yeah?
Sounds
Good?
good?
Clock. Because I'm...
Whenever you're ready, I'll hit it.
You
Oh, and
good?
then that
Are you
counts
comfy?
down?
Is
Yeah.
it, can you hear me from back here too? So I don't have to like do this the whole time. Can I just put out the vibe?
Yeah.
Here, let me
Put out the vibe. Air it out.
Mic me like one of your French girls.
Yes. Rob Hefner. Rob Hefner is with Pine Top Lakeside. He's one of we have the whole town of Pine Top Lakeside watching.
That's cool. How's that? Is that close enough?
Yes.
In case and if I really want to get into it.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
I think this is my first talk show.
Really?
Well, I think so.
Wow.
But then maybe someone will be like, no, you did my talk show 6 years ago, you
It's all
idiot.
running around.
Woo.
Woo. Okay. Hi, everybody. Hi, welcome back to the Lauren Rachel Talk Show. I am with my best friend, Chris Bennett.
Yeah.
Comedian Chris Bennett, thank you for being here.
Oh, Lauren, thanks so much for having me. This is amazing. This is like
Thank you.
you put me up in an awesome VIP trailer.
You know,
And then the
deserve
studios are nice. Oh, this
Thank
is just
you.
so. Thank you so much.
do you like my balls?
I love your balls. Those are one's bigger than the other.
Right? I know.
That happens.
Yeah, my disco balls are a little not symmetrical, but they're festive.
Yeah, and they try real hard, so it doesn't matter that they're.
It's how you use them.
Yes, exactly.
Well, I am a big fan of yours.
Oh, thank you.
Huge fan of yours. Yes, I moved out here a few years ago. You're one of the first comedians I saw perform out here, and I've done comedy also for about 10 years. And watching you, it wasn't just like watching someone that's funny. You are an entertainer, and you are a great entertainer. So it means a lot that you're here.
Thank you so much. That always means so much when people say that. So
Yes,
you almost made me cry.
me too. Okay. We had some cookies this morning. It just kind of got the hormones going. All right. If someone wants to stalk you, how can they find you?
So all my social handles are Chris Bennett Comedy.
Okay.
I have a website, chrisbennettcomedy.com. My
Okay.
YouTube is Chris Bennett Comedy Official.
Ooh.
And so you could stalk me on all the social media platforms. I also, on my Facebook page, I go live on Facebook every day for my morning show, 7 to 9. I do a morning show up in Show.
I love your morning show. I crash
you.
it sometimes if I'm up
I
early.
love it. I love when people, because I do the radio show, and my boss is like, people are listening to music. They're not listening to you. So I have a very small
I'm
window
listening to you.
that I can talk. So
I fast forward the music. I listen to you.
but the Facebook Live lets me just interact with the
Yes.
audience, and my best friends pop on,
Yes.
and I just get so excited.
I'm not a country gal. I go on there to watch you because I think you're hilarious. And you're
Thank you.
doing all these things. He's like playing with all like you've got ads you're running. You're doing the music for the show, right?
Uh-huh.
And you're also doing your face. So you're doing like what, 3 different things
Yeah,
at once?
it literally feels like when you go to the circus and you see the dude spinning the plates. Because
Yes.
I think because
That's what it looks like.
I'm in a small town. So in a small town, you wear a lot of hats.
Yeah.
It's not like in a big city where it's like they have a producer, they have all
Sure.
this. So yeah, I operate the board. I have to keep track of like the time, make sure all the commercials are playing, and maybe there's a song that's in too long or people have requests, put that in. And then I'm communicating with the Facebook Live, talking to them. And I have ADHD, so it's like the
Same.
perfect job for me. It's like, oh, cool. I just have it.
How small is your town, would you say?
So Sholo itself, it's, in my opinion, and some people might be mad at this, but I feel it's the hub of the White Mountains, which is kind of like the a bigger area. But Sholo itself is probably 12,000
Wow, that's
people.
a small town.
And in the summertime, I think it gets up to 20,000.
Wow.
Maybe just with summer visitors.
Wow.
But the whole White Mountain area, you have Sholo, you have Pine Top, you have all these small little towns that combine that are all within like an hour of each other usually.
Sure.
Probably about 50,000 people.
Wow.
Total.
So given those numbers, you're their main entertainment as far as the radio station and your performer. Are you also their cardiologist?
That would make sense, definitely. You have to wear a lot of hats.
podiatrist.
So, hey, you're doing good at the radio. Now listen, we have an opening at the hospital. How confident are you about
Right?
being a
Yeah.
cardiologist?
And also, we need you to grow some crops for the farmer's market.
Yeah, no, they're smart enough to know that I'm only good at making people laugh.
You're like,
And
don't give me any
they're
responsibility.
not going to give me any responsibility. I don't want any responsibility.
Oh, well, I do want to make sure our listeners know. I think everyone already knows, but I feel like we should repeat it because we're going to be on Spotify and iHeartRadio and all the things when this airs. Tell us about your comedy special because I love it.
Yes, it's called Small Town Famous. And I'd been doing comedy for 22 years. And I moved to Sholo about 6-7 years ago from LA. And I thought, my career was done because, last time I checked, Sholo's not the entertainment capital of the world.
Yeah.
Well, my dreams started to come true, got my first job in entertainment, started doing comedy again. And I realized I had a lot of good jokes that I was just kind of done with. And I wanted to move on and stretch myself. So I told my friend, producer director Ryan McKee, Emmy Award winning producer.
Oh, wow.
I said, dude, I want to get a special so I can have all these jokes
forever.
And
yes.
then now I could just move on and I don't have to use them as a crutch.
I know that feeling. Yeah.
I want to just move. So he's like, yeah, let's do it. And if we're going to do it, we're going to do it the right way. And I was like, well, let's just do a simple one. He's like, no, it's you've been doing comedy for 22 years. You want a special, it's going to be special. And we discussed our idea. And I'm like, I love how I thought my dreams were over and I moved to the small town and I became small town famous.
Right.
And all my dreams came true. And he's like, well, let's call it Small Town Famous.
I love it.
And then there's a community center in a town called Pinedale that's 500 people. That's 15 minutes away from Sholo. Sure. And we did it in an old schoolhouse that was built in the late 1920s, 1930s.
Yeah, it looked like a really retro stage. It was kind of cool. Your set was amazing.
It was awesome. Well, and then the set and what was so cool about the special was, obviously when you start comedy, your dreams are like, oh, I'm going to have a special HBO, Comedy Central, Netflix thing. What was so cool about this is it wasn't made by a big studio. It was made by my best friends and my fans and people in my community. This guy named John Kittle, he's an art teacher at the high school. He owns the local art shop, Kittle's Fine Art and Supply. Wow. He was like, yeah, I'll help you make a logo. He also was like, I want to help with the stage because I was like, I thought it would be cool.
Oh, so people actually physically worked on your show.
People physically.
That makes my heart
They
happy.
donated their time. We had these friends of mine, Candy and Campbell Roche, she owns a cleaning company up there. She helped. She does Airbnb cleaning. She got us an Airbnb for my crew to come.
Wow.
We had people donated money. People became producers, assistant producers. We raised all the money to make this special. That I'm like, there's no way this is going to happen. But the community is like, no, there's a way. We're going to make this happen.
Doing this.
And so
you deserve it.
And it just means so much to me because one, I never thought it would happen.
Yeah.
And my friends believed in me enough to help make it happen. And so I'm super proud of it. My friend David with Pixel Thick, he basically edited it and he was the director of photography. And but Ryan, he's been my best friend. We've been doing comedy for 22 years. And it's good to have friends like him where he pushed me and he's like, no, we're going to do this. And there's so many times where I was like, dude, I feel bad spending this money on asking people to give me money to make this special. And he's like, no, we're going to do it.
They want
and he believed in me and he made sure that the special came out amazing. And so, and
remember, you're giving them something too. That's something that I know as comedians, we kind of have that imposter syndrome and you're very humble. And it's one of the things I love about you. You're very sweet, but you're entertaining them and they love that. Yeah.
It's just, I'm just honored that people will let me entertain them. I've been trying so long to get an audience. And the fact that I have one, I'm just so grateful. And it doesn't I just want them to know how thankful. It's like, please don't go away. I want my audience forever. And so it's just, I want them to feel so special because they make me feel so special. And, if they weren't my fans, I'd just be entertaining, my dog, and he appreciates it. But
my family's tired of my jokes too.
It's just so much more fun, and my dream. I remember, I was at a crossroads in my career because I've always had a full-time job and doing comedy because I was trying to, support my comedy habits, and so I remember one time someone asked me Chris, what do you really want like out of life. And I was like, well, my dream, like if we're just going basic, it's like I would love to just be able to talk into a microphone for a living and make people laugh and smile. And
Aw.
so, and it freaking happened
Yes.
when I thought it wasn't going to. And
Yeah.
so I'm just, that's,
Your radio show's great.
thank you.
I
It's
hate
just-
country. I'll be first to tell you
Right,
that.
right.
I
Not
watch
everyone
the-
loves country.
I listen to the show for you, and that
Mhm.
literally all I listen to is you on the show. And then I'm like, I'm gonna mute this, and then I'm back. Oh, it's Chris. Like I watch your parts. Like no offense to the country lovers, but
Yeah.
I tune in for you because you make me laugh and it starts my day.
Right. Well, that's I do the show on Facebook too, where we're not
Yes.
allowed to play any country music. So
Yes.
people that don't like the country and just like me
Yeah,
can
it's
hop on and join the fun. But
Yeah.
I remember I hated country too, like years ago, and
Sure.
I'm like, I'm listening to it, I'm like, this is
we're from
corny.
California. I think it's just we're not allowed to listen to it there.
Right. Well, by the time I moved to California, I was a country fan. But
Oh,
at first I
really?
was like, this is so corny, this is so cheesy, and then I'm like, this is so corny. So
And now
cheesy.
you're
I'm like,
spinning those records.
it's so I love it. I love country music. It's my favorite.
That's cool. That's so cool. Well, this might be a silly question now, but one of my questions for you is, what do you like about living in a small town? I know you were in a big city. You were in LA before, right?
Well, yeah. Well, the thing I love, you become friends with your neighbors. Like in a big city, you don't really like. You might not become friends with people that live just down the street from you or whatever. But in a small town, you really see people more. It's like I went to a private school, not to brag, but I went to
Flex.
instead of public school because my parents thought like Chris will be better in a smaller. And my parents were right. Like
Yeah.
it's good for me to be in a smaller community.
So you mean reform school? I was in one of those too.
Oh, reform, yeah. And so
we were kind of naughty, but we were the delusion that we were special.
Exactly, yeah.
They're going to go to jail if we don't put them in here. So this is what we're doing. Did you have a uniform?
Yep.
Oh, you did?
Yeah,
Do you have any of those pictures?
I
see
think I
this.
do. Well, I have a picture of I was the mascot
Oh,
in high school, so I got a picture of me in that uniform. But we just wore blue pants or blue shorts, and then we had a white collar shirt, like a polo.
So like
That's at
AC/DC.
Catholic high school. Yeah, exactly.
great.
But
They made it cool.
but just like a small school, the small community, it's just like I just feel like people care about you more.
Yes,
They're
I
more
see that.
supportive. It's just a very caring, nurturing community,
Yeah.
and you just get to know people and get to know people better. So that's what I love
That's
about a small
nice.
town. And our small town has the biggest heart. Like whenever
Right.
anybody needs help, when there's so many nonprofits up there, people just trying to
Mhm.
help people, and the heart of that community and just how caring everyone
Mhm.
is just beautiful. I've never seen anything like it, and I don't know if all small towns are like that. I think they are, but that's
Yours
what I love
sounds
about a
special.
small town.
I'm in
It
Anthem,
is.
and it's not. I know 3 neighbors. Like I've been there for 2.5 years.
Uh-huh.
So they sometimes recognize me at the grocery store. They kind of avoid me because I usually ask for help with things, and
Right.
that's kind of my interaction. But I'm trying to connect more.
Uh-huh.
Yours sounds special, and that's nice.
Well, it's like normally, like I feel like in real life, if you see, like if I saw my neighbor like first 2-3 times, I'm not gonna say anything. But maybe if I see him 4 times in like
Sure.
a week, you've got to say something, and that's what happens in a show low. In a show low,
Right?
that's what happens in show low. You just see everyone. You're interacting
Sure.
with people so much, and
When you
it's
first
just-
moved there, did you feel like you were being stalked a lot until you realized like this is normal?
No. Well, when I first moved there, I moved there with my tail between my legs, and so I wasn't really like saying much, and I was kind of just
Creepy?
creepy. And I was just like, I would stay home, and I was just like, but then when I started to
Shine.
get out of my shell, and that's when I started
Yeah.
to really love the town and
Yeah.
and make friends.
You seem happy, and
I
it's-
am so happy. I've told people, like, if this is the pinnacle of my career, I am so happy. Like,
That's
this is
great.
it. This is what I wanted. I'm able to support my family. I'm able to, do my shows. I have so many great friends, and I get to live my dream of waking up every morning, talking into a microphone, and trying to make people's day brighter. So for me,
Nice.
if this is the pinnacle, then thank you. It's great. But if anything else would be, gravy,
Cherry
would be
on top.
awesome. Cherry on top.
I think the world's gonna see some big things from you.
Oh.
Yeah. You're really good.
Thank
So,
you.
You are. You are. And so everyone knows, you can see his special on YouTube. It's called Small Town Famous. And yeah, you don't have to subscribe or anything to
Nope.
watch it.
No,
and
but if you could
that'd
subscribe,
be
that
nice. But
helps.
please share.
So if you go to Chris Bennett Comedy Official on YouTube and you
Yes.
subscribe, and then if you watch it,
Yes.
you want to like it.
Yes.
You want to, if you're asking like, Chris,
I
how
meant like
can
you don't
we
have
help
to
you?
pay to see it.
No, you don't have to pay to see it.
But
But if you
share
want to
it,
help me out,
please.
share, like,
It's great.
comment.
Yeah.
And just so many people in my community, all my best friends made it.
Yeah.
And I want them to be proud of it too. So if
Yeah.
everyone could share it.
Well, the set was fun because I don't want to give away, as I don't want to do like a spoiler with this, but I like that you made the set look like your radio station.
Yeah, I don't think that's a
Trailer.
spoiler. Yeah,
It's
that was
cool.
so.
It was cute how you did that and you popped out.
When I remember when I really started getting into comedy and getting serious about it and watching it a lot, it was like late 90s, early 2000s. And so on Comedy Central and all the specials, I feel like they had a cool backdrop. And
Right.
so when I was talking to Ryan, I'm like, I think that would be cool. And the radio is such a big part of my life that I think it would be cool to start with the exterior shot of the murder shack. And then I come out of the murder shack, onto the stage.
Yeah.
And he's like, yeah, that's a cool idea, but that's way complicated. But I told my friend John Kittle, the art teacher and Kittle's Fine Arts.
I got you.
And he's like, no, that's easy. That's easy. And
I was like, know what
it wasn't easy, but it was
right.
But it was awesome. So
you got
he's
a
like,
team of people.
Team of people, and he's like, no, we just got to create a door hinge here, and then you'll just walk out, and we'll print it on canvas, and it will look like. And so I really like how that turned out. And it's just
cool.
those little extra touches. I don't know if it's necessary, but I like to be a little extra.
It made it very fun. Speaking of being a little extra, does your wife dress you, or do you do this to yourself?
I do this to myself. She lets me do whatever.
That's one of my questions today.
She lets me do whatever I want. She's the best wife in the world. And it was like, what was funny, before I moved to Sholo, I felt like I was always trying to pretend like I had one foot in the comedy door and then one foot in the real life door. And I was a dental sales rep. Oof. And so, you have to fit a part, you have to play a part. You can't, And when I moved to Sholo, it was so different there. Everyone's so more relaxed. I was like, oh, you don't have to shave every day. I grew a beard for the first time in this small town. I loved it. And then I was like, and at my job, I was like, I don't have to cut my hair a certain way. And I started to let it grow.
Look at that, mate.
Look at that.
You're halfway to meatloaf.
And so I feel like living in a small town, I found my sense of style too, because I was trying to fit into someone else's construct.
Right.
And finally decided to be like, and then I'm like, I don't mind. I like wearing
wild
collared shirts. But then I start wearing these wild shirts. And
for our listeners, why don't you let them know what is going on in this
shirt?
I see alligators and golfers.
Yeah, so I found I love just Hawaiian shirts or crazy shirts with a lot of patterns on it.
You went several steps beyond Hawaiian today.
Yeah, so this is a Roosevelt shirt. Yeah, this is a new shirt.
Wow.
I got it for Christmas because every year I tell my daughters to if you want to get me a new shirt, to add to my wardrobe. But this is a Happy Gilmore shirt.
Oh, that's fun.
And so,
I didn't even notice that.
Yeah, so we have Happy Gilmore on there. We have Shooter McGavin.
Oh, that's
We have
cool.
Ben Stiller as the mean nursing home
the nurse
attendant.
Guy. My fingers hurt.
We have. So
do the old lady saying my fingers hurt?
My finger. Well, now your back's gonna hurt because you just pulled yard duty.
Oh.
It has golf balls on it, and so it has
I was
the
like,
beers.
what the hell's going on in this guy's shirt? He's got so many different things, but I did not connect the dots.
I love it, and it's I love being the center of attention. So I love shirts like this because people will just start looking at me for a while, and I give them a while, and I'm like, do you know what it's from? I have no clue. I have a Sandlot shirt. I have last night I wore my Bob Ross shirt. Which that one,
I love Bob Ross.
That Bob Ross shirt was the first of this, me finding these Roosevelt shirts, and that shirt means so much to me because it was one of the first gifts given to me by a fan. When I moved to Sholo, her name was Sandra, the top Fandra, and she loves her some Chris Bennett.
And she bought you a shirt.
And she bought me that shirt, and I love that shirt. And one time for Halloween, she's like, I want to go as you. Can I borrow that shirt I gave you? And I'm like, absolutely.
She dressed up as you for Halloween.
And I get, as you can see, I get zits. We covered them up, though.
Hello.
Good job.
I used to do pageants.
But I get a lot of zits, and I get one where I get one a lot is right between my
It's
eyes
your
on
third
my
eye.
nose.
It's your
Yes.
psychic ability, and you keep killing it.
And I do, and so for Halloween, she like put makeup this big old zit.
That's messed up.
Yeah, no, I love it. It's
That's
Chris,
so
though.
funny.
And so,
Oh my god.
and so that shirt meant a lot to me because she got it to me, and now all my friends give me awesome, cool stuff.
Yeah,
Like-
that's really funny. I hope your wife doesn't mind the suggestion, but they do make Bob Ross underwear. Just putting that out there for you.
Yeah, I don't think she'd mind it. Although
I think it says Happy Little Bush or something, but that might
Okay.
be. I don't know.
I think she'd
I
mind
feel
that.
like
Like
you should rock that.
I have a I wear some crazy stuff she puts up with. I think she hates when people tell me about some of this new stuff. She's like, "Oh, great, he's gonna wear it." But like,
Sorry.
I saw an ad for a brokini. Have you ever seen these?
Are
It's-
those the ones with like like it's like a banana hammock?
Well, yeah, it's like
Those
kind of a
suspenders?
Speedo, but a singlet. So almost looks like Andre the Giant type.
I think I saw Borat wear one. But it was
Okay,
like a
yeah.
thong.
So it's kind of like it is revealing, not as revealing as the Borat
Is that
one.
for like when you go out to the grocery store, or when,
Yeah,
when
or
are you
like,
wearing this?
I do just whenever I do weird videos out on the street, or I did a
just cowboy boots and that.
The coolest time I ever
Uh-huh.
got to use. I know I bought it. My wife's like, "You're never gonna use it because like you're not gonna wear it to the pool." I'm like, "I'm gonna use it." And
You'll watch me. I will find a reason.
a month ago, I did a comedy show at Mike Drop Mania. It was burlesque and
I wanted
comedy.
to go to that. That looks so cool.
It was cool, and so I was like,
You
this
did that strip thing.
Yes, and
oh
I'm like,
my
this
God.
is where
so funny.
I told you 3 years
used it.
ago. It came in handy, and so
I'm wearing it.
I wore a suit, and then I ended up stripping down to
That
my
was
brokini.
so funny. That's
and
so funny.
see,
Well, originally when I saw that they were doing those shows, because I've seen some weird comedy shows where they have like comedians performing their underwear and stuff like that. Like
so you thought that's
maybe
what it was.
3 batches from now,
comedians
I've got to do a
don't
lot
have
of
to,
lunges.
yeah.
No, so I thought that the burlesque was going to be their comedians.
No,
But you just took it upon yourself
yeah, no, they have
to really
amazing-
entertain us as you usually do.
The comedians do not have to take their clothes off. It's probably now a rule where don't do it.
But Chris does.
But I did it.
Amazing.
I created the rule. Of,
If you have another one coming up, I do have a great spray tan lady. Just let me know.
Okay, excellent. Yes.
Yes.
One time.
She made my husband look like the 300. She just painted him on for a honeymoon.
Really?
I was like, perfect.
No way. I did get a spray
Kidding.
tan once. I forgot to cover my toes with the little.
Oh.
So then my toes looked like I had some like sickness or vitamin deficiency.
I left once with the shower cap on. I was
Oh,
like, well,
really?
that's all right.
That's all right.
Don't worry about it. I've had some. I started getting those done when they first came out, and I was orange. Like that was a thing. Like they didn't have options to choose a shade. It was just like you are carrots. Like
They're like, sorry, here you could be
Carrot or
a
eggplant?
carrot or eggplant. What would you
yeah,
like?
and they went eggplant. I was like, this is mildly offensive. Like this was like an inappropriate Halloween costume. Like, this is like way beyond what's okay. So I was
Right.
scrubbing for days. I was
Yeah,
like, I
I
can't
gotta
leave the
wait a
house.
week before I can leave the house.
No, like remember Snooki, like from Jersey Shore?
Yeah, is that what you look like?
Times 2.
Oh my gosh.
I was like, this looks like I'm doing something not funny. Like I need to take this off.
right, we gotta see
It
some
was-
pictures of that.
Well, yeah, and but one year I was her for Halloween.
Oh,
Actually,
really?
Speaking of Halloween, yeah, I did 3 spray tans in a row, and I did leopard print and like a hot pink lipstick. So if you want to steal that idea, you're welcome.
Oh, I would love to be Snooki.
One of the other things I wanted to ask you: what do you like to do to relax? Because you're always on. What do you do when you're off?
Yeah, well, I think veg out. I love
Okay.
to sleep. I'm really good at sleeping.
You're a big napper.
I'm a big napper. I love taking naps. I
That's good.
love
I never
watching the Office on repeat. It's like
Oh.
kind of my. It's like
That's how you
my
decompress?
white noise is the
Wow.
Office. So like if I really want to just zone out, I'll just put the Office on in the background,
Yeah, that's
or
a
I
good
watch
show.
Sports Center
Okay.
and sports. I like watching that. I like hanging out at the bar with my friends.
Oh, okay.
Mm-hmm.
Nice.
I hang out with a lot of old retired dudes.
All
They're
right.
my best friends, and we hang
Yeah.
out at the bar. So
No hunting.
no hunting. They all want to take me hunting, but I just I don't mind.
I like animals too much.
I don't mind. Like if hunters, like I get it. Like that's your thing. Do your thing. But I would. Well, one. Do you know there's a thing called the grocery store? You do not have to it is so hard to hunt. Like they'll spend weeks camping outside.
I don't know.
And one, camping, that's not fun.
I need 2
to
showers a
me.
day, so that's
yeah.
just not happening.
If I'm going to relax, I'm going to stay in a hotel.
Yeah.
I'm going to turn the AC way on, and I'm going to get
Okay.
in the sheets. I'm not.
So no spa stuff really
No
though by you?
spa.
Do you want to get a pedi after the show with me maybe?
I don't like people touching my feet, but I might like. I literally.
Maybe a foot spa.
I'm afraid to.
Uh-huh.
I'm kind of self-conscious about my feet.
Oh, do you have like a Franken toe?
Well, my dad saw my feet today. He was like, "You got a bunion." I was like, "I do." I don't. But I don't cut my toenails very often.
Oh, you're that guy.
Yeah, like I know it's time to cut my toenails when my wife starts bleeding.
Okay. Okay.
You know, because
So-
I'm like cutting her.
On the spectrum of like from CEO to like Howard Hughes in his last year,
Uh-huh.
how far along toward Howard Hughes are you? Would you say?
I
with the
think,
toenails?
unfortunately, I don't think I'm that. I
Oh.
cut them up 3 weeks ago,
Okay.
and so they're
that's
not bad now.
But if
I
I
don't.
like,
Do you want to
scraped her
see
leg
them?
in bed, like she would probably not.
Or you know what? Like more than like I have cut her a few times.
Gross.
Yeah, and that's when I
Date
know.
night.
But you really know, like, so I'll cut the sheets.
Chris, you're like
And
a
so-
sloth.
But then, so I wear socks a lot. Do you want to see them and then tell me?
I feel like you want to show me.
Well,
and,
okay. So
like-
this is my normal foot. I'll show you the foot my dad was making fun
Oh
of.
yeah, that's definitely a
So,
mutated.
yeah, already you could tell.
I mean, that's not bad.
so that's
Are they
not,
webbed at all?
No, they're normal. I
Okay,
mean, they're kind of
okay.
like.
All right.
But
Let me help you with the lifts.
and they're not very long. So actually,
Can you tell I'm wearing
I'm
jeggings
kind of
today?
proud of them.
by the way?
I love jeggings.
It was an
why,
early morning.
Why don't they make jeggings for dudes?
Wow. Yeah,
And
that one's
so
not.
Is that a bunion?
That's worse than mine.
Oh, really?
Yeah. I mean,
my dad said I should go get it checked out.
how
I'm like,
into that burlesque show did you get? Because usually you got to wear certain shoes for those.
no, they took off my socks. Well, and you know
And
one
then they put
thing.
them back on. They're like, you're gonna like make the tips go down. They're gonna take the tips back out of the tip jar.
You know one thing I learned doing that burlesque show: take your shoes off first. I did it last, and that is not sexy.
That's
Oh,
really
now it's like-
funny.
But
That's
yeah,
a whole process.
and
Wow.
then because you
This
know
is the
the
best
burlesque
show and tell I've
dancer-
ever had. Where is your leg hair, by the way? What happened?
So that's another thing that they said when I did the burlesque dancing. They said, "Do you shave your legs?" I do not. Like you could see, I do
I wish
have
I
a
had your
few.
problems.
I know, but isn't that nice?
It
Like,
is kind of.
And my dad has the same thing. It must be like some like, I think some Italians are like hairy and some aren't.
I'm the non-hairy. Are
I'm
you
the-
Italian?
Yeah, Italian.
Oh, I
Irish.
love you so much more now. I'm
And-
half Italian too.
And so that's why
Wow.
I think but then
Check out the legs, you guys.
I have hair
The
on my
gams.
chest. I know. Too bad the
First pair of
podcast
gams I've had
audience
on
don't
this
get
show.
to see. I wish there was a way they could see
Wow.
how good my
Well,
legs look.
you know, if you're listening in eventually on Spotify or iHeartRadio, etc., you can also watch the footage because you got to see the foot. The foot.
Yeah.
It's going to be on the Lauren Rachael YouTube channel.
And if you want, and if you're not going to do that, and you just want a description of what my leg looks like, it looks like a dead fish. Like, doesn't it kind of like the color, and it doesn't have
I
hair
mean,
on it?
I mean, I'd want to check your pulse if I just saw that leg like hanging out somewhere, like under a sheet or something. Like, oh, that guy's,
Oh no,
that guy's
he's
a goner.
dead. He's dead, and he's got
He's
gout.
already cold. Dead. He's been dead for a while. Was what that's the shade of you. Is just. But you know, don't feel bad. Any tone I have to have painted on by a team of people.
Yeah, 'cause I'm afraid of the sun.
Oh yeah,
And
rightly so. I burned in the car.
Yeah. And so whenever I do go out in the sun,
Yeah.
I just put on so much suntan lotion. Looks like I'm pretending to be a white person, you know,
Yeah,
you have
yeah.
so like
Totally, I
way.
get it.
But so
No wonder
'cause
you
I
can't
just
go
don't-
camping. You won't survive.
Yeah, I just don't like to get burnt. So, and I don't mind being super, super pale. I'm married. I don't, you know,
Yeah,
who am I trying to impress
I
other
feel
than
you.
myself?
yeah.
Oh, sorry.
I should probably step it up. And I've only been married for 2 years, and I feel like I'm like, okay, I need to start making more of an effort. There was like a whole month where I did shave my legs, and I was like, you know what? He probably would appreciate it
He would.
if I would do this again. I'm not a really hairy person, though. I don't really need to do this
Right.
as much.
but
But I
is-
feel like, you know, I
yeah,
don't want to look like your legs, but I want to, you know.
right. I remember when my wife and I first got married, and she'd walk around I don't remember this, but she tells me this because she doesn't walk around naked.
Oh,
No, but she
small
said,
town they could see you or what?
but she said that when we first got married, like she would, and she said that I was like, oh, just, you know, I'm used to it. And I don't know, I don't remember saying that, but it is nice. Like, it's nice to keep the goods covered up, and then every now and then
a little
she'll
surprise.
lay a little flash
Yeah.
while she's making a sandwich. That sounds
See?
extremely sexist, what
That's
I said.
fun.
But
While
that's
she's
fun.
making the sandwich.
While she's making a sandwich.
I mean, only if she's pregnant, I guess. I don't know. Depends on how you
Right.
phrase it. I can say that. You can't. Honestly, I know I'm in this package, but I have the personality of a very old man. I don't know why.
Really?
Oh, I'm just like, get off my porch. Like, I
I-
am. So I don't know why. Like, it sucked dating for me because guys would be like, oh, she must be a lot of fun. And I'm like, my back hurts and Matlock is on, so I'm gonna go.
That's funny that you're an old man and I'm like an old lady.
Yeah,
Like just a
that's
very
why we're friends.
like a paranoid old lady. It's like, you're gonna get cold.
Did you bring your jacket?
You bring your jacket. Did you hear what was on the news?
Yeah, and then I also have to put a lot of work into this. In the morning, I look very much like Danny DeVito.
Oh, really?
Yeah, he didn't know what he signed up for. I'm like, I got him.
Got him.
Yeah, he's from Alaska and he's pretty cute, and he doesn't know that he's cute. So I was
Uh-huh.
like, oh, maybe he won't notice I look Danny DeVito until it's too late.
That would be a scary thing about being a girl because you fall in love with the guy and then you're like, but he's never seen me without my makeup on. Like my wife, I never had to hide. I never had to do a reveal for her. So when did you do the reveal for him? Like after the marriage or before the marriage?
No, he sees me all the time.
Oh, he sees all the time. And he loves it probably.
Yeah.
Like I don't like a lot of makeup.
He thinks I'm cute without it. So,
Yeah. It's
I
more
mean,
for you.
he's got bad vision, but it's
that's fine.
It's okay. He needs glasses, but yeah. I want to hear. I know a little bit about the story, but I think people should hear about your story with your wife. I think it's really cool.
Oh yeah.
Your love story is really sweet. It's
my
kind of like The Notebook, but you remember each other.
Exactly. We haven't forgotten each other
Yeah.
yet.
It was us.
It was us the whole time. So my wife and I, we got married when I was 19. She got pregnant. We did it the old-fashioned way.
Oh, great. Good job, Chris.
And then we got and
did your dad smack you in the head?
Yep. So we got married at 19, divorced at 33.
Oh, boo.
And so I moved to LA because I thought like my family and my marriage was holding me back from achieving my dreams.
Oh, so you're having a selfish phase.
Yes.
Was that your
very
midlife
selfish.
crisis or
Yep.
something?
I think so. I was 33, so that means I'm going to die when I'm 66.
I
so
hope not.
I hope not
I hope
either.
not.
But yeah, I hope it was a quarter life crisis.
Yeah. You had yours early.
But so.
I'm having mine now, by the way.
Oh, really? Heck
Yeah.
yeah. Woo!
Yeah, I just did mushrooms in Vegas. I was like, yeah, this
Oh,
is the
nice.
time. This is the
It's the
time.
time.
I used to be a
Gotta
doctor. I'm like,
explore.
we're good. I'm going to do this now.
and so we got divorced at 33, and then she ended up, we were living in Mesa, Arizona, and she had family up in the small town Show Low, and so she was going to move up there, have a job with her, working for her brother, and a good community
I was wondering
for the
why
kids.
up there. Okay.
So that's why she picked that, and then I moved to Hollywood, and then I realized like I made a horrible mistake. I realized like even if I get what I want, it's not going to mean anything without my wife or my kids. I wanted my family back. And so
Oh,
then
It's a Wonderful Life.
Yes, but then it was like,
Yes.
you think it's hard to get someone to marry you the first time. Try to do it again.
Wow.
It was like,
so you realized you
I
screwed up
realized I screwed up, and
and
it was
lost
like,
everything.
I was trying so hard to get
Yeah.
my wife back, and then finally,
Yeah.
I was able to get her back, and we got remarried like after being divorced for 2 years. But she was like, "How's this going to work?" She's like, "I want to like if we're married, I want to live in the same house." And she's
Yeah.
like, "I don't want to live in LA." And you have a regular job. You could have a regular job here and still do comedy. I was like, yeah, but no, I won't become famous. I won't be able to make a living doing comedy in the small town. She's like,
Right.
well, you're not doing it now in the big city.
Right?
And so I said, okay, I quit my job. I said, give me 1 year. My friend and I, Brian, who produced my special,
Right.
he's like, let's start a TV show in your apartment.
Excuse
So we started Mr. Chris's apartment show. And after 8 months, I ran out of money and I had no choice to move to Show Low. And
wow.
I'm moving to the small town. I feel like a failure. I have no money. I feel like my dream of becoming a professional entertainer is over. And so I was super, super depressed.
Bummed,
And then I moved to the small town. I love being with my family. And all of a sudden, all my dreams started coming true. Like
I love that.
I believe in higher power or God, whatever you want to call it.
Absolutely.
And so
And I think he lets us make those bad decisions so we can learn lessons, and it makes us stronger and makes us appreciate
mhm,
different things and appreciate people more and what matters.
exactly.
So he lets us fall on
He
our face
does.
sometimes and do the dumb shit
And-
so that we're like, oh, like
Okay.
his plan was way better.
Way better. And I fought him so hard on his plan.
Yeah. I thought I'd
And-
never get married myself. So I was like, oh, I'm married in Arizona. This is very weird.
Oh,
Like,
there we
I
go,
was in
yeah.
California too. Yeah.
Yeah. And so there's a country song. Okay, I'm in country music called God Bless the Broken Road. And so
Aw.
like God bless this broken road that he led me here. And it's like his plan was way better than mine. And all my dreams started coming true. I got my first job in entertainment. I host my own morning radio show. People started coming to my comedy show.
I love it.
My wife and I were together with our family.
Now, people around the country, can they listen to your radio show? Does it have a website or anything where people
So
can tune
we
in?
burned down 2 years ago this station, February 4th, 2021. And so the thing that let people like listen to the station on the internet isn't there yet, but it will be back.
We'll be back.
And
Okay.
so Q Country 92.5, hopefully that will be there sometime this year.
Q Country 92.5.
925.com. So
925.
yeah, QCountry925.com.
Okay. In Sholo, Arizona.
But if you really just
and you're
want
so
to,
funny.
if you just want to like watch along the behind the scenes,
Yes.
just follow me on Facebook, Chris Bennett, or Chris Bennett Comedy, or Q Country 92.5 page.
I watch it every morning.
I share it every day. I go live on my page, and then I share it to all the other places.
So everyone knows what for Mountain Standard Time is what we're on here, right?
Yes.
So what time does it go on?
So I start about 7:15 every morning, Monday through Friday, on the Facebook Live portion. No
wonder you nap so much.
Well, what's so cool, this is what's cool about being a small town DJ. I only work for 2 hours. 7 to 9 a.m. I don't have to wake up too early.
That's great.
And so it's 7 to 9 a.m. Monday through Friday, and then on my Facebook every day, 7:15 to 9 a.m. And it's like 2 different shows. We have the radio show going on with country music, and then we have all our best friends, all our gossip, all people call in, we play games.
Well, that's part of what I like about your show too, is like you have people interacting with you, like friends chiming in, and you've got some really great sponsors, it sounds like, for the show.
Oh, I have the best sponsors, and they're all my best friends.
The dentures one, I love that.
Yeah,
this lady's like, I can eat apples again.
I can eat at Dr. Arnaud, Comfort Fit Dentures, my friends Hornado Center, Aliberto's. I have a lot. Yeah.
I should ask this. I don't want to rock the boat too much because all of your friends are watching, but because you were in the big city before, like LA's notably one of the biggest cities we have. Is there anything you miss now that you're in a small town? Anything you miss about the big city?
I would never like trade anything. I mean, the biggest thing is like, it was cool to have so many different. Well, I loved like seeing the billboards when I lived in LA.
Okay.
Knowing
what movies and shows
just,
are coming up.
You just felt like you were in Hollywood, you know. And so
you were.
Yeah, you were. Exactly.
Welcome to Hollywood. What's your dream? Yeah.
And there were a lot of like different food choices, but I mean, I don't care. I wouldn't trade any of that for what I have now, like my small community. And for me, it's better. I don't need a lot of choices. And I'm a creature of habit anyways.
Okay.
Like, I'm one of those people that when I go to a restaurant, I've been ordering the same thing I've ordered for 20 years. I do the same thing.
I don't either, because I know what I like. And then every time I try something different, I'm like, it's not as good as my go-to thing. So like when I go to the sushi place by my house, I order the same Bonnie Lake roll at Rapper Sushi.
Yeah, why not? Because you like
the same thing every week.
So why would I go anywhere else? Every Sholo, the White Mountains has everything I need. So it's like, I don't need any extra fancy restaurants. I have the ones I like. I hang out at pretty much the same places all the time.
Well, when you were in LA, did you go to any like big events like premieres or any of that kind of stuff? Because they're big for that stuff.
The coolest thing I got to do was a buddy of mine took me to a Simpsons table read.
Oh, neat.
Yeah, that was amazing.
Did you ask why they know the future?
No, I didn't. I just kept my mouth shut.
Have you noticed that they?
Yeah, it's pretty crazy. I don't know how they do that.
Like, if you have like CERN in your studio, like, tell people. That's what I think. Like, just let people know that that's where you write The Simpsons, is like at the time travel device.
Oh,
like,
really? It would make sense.
They're very predictive.
It is very, they do predict the future a lot.
Yeah,
but that was probably the coolest thing I got to do. It wasn't like a big gala or anything, so it was like I was just sitting on the wall and I got to see Hank Azaria, all these like.
Oh yeah, he's great.
I got to see all these people voicing these characters. I'm like, holy moly! So that was amazing.
You know what I think you'd like, off topic? Have you been to Sundance yet?
I've never. No.
Okay, so Park City, Utah.
Right.
That's where the Sundance Film Festival is, and it has all of the charm of a small town, but it also mixes in a Hollywood event. Basically, is what it feels like.
The big city in the
small town. And so there's tons of celebrities. I mean, I met probably 20 or 30 in the couple years I lived there, and you can watch their like art films and like the stuff that they're releasing that'll go to Sundance before the theaters. Hank Azaria had one when I saw it like 10 years ago, something where he'd wear these special glasses on a date and he could see what the future would be like with that woman. It was great. It was like a short he did. It was so good. That's reminded me of it. And I feel like you and your wife would just have a blast. I think they do it every mid-January to early February, so it's a few week long. And you can
Ooh.
online get tickets to go to the shows. And I went to Park City High School for 1 year, so that's why.
Oh, really?
Yes,
You know what?
I think you'd love it.
So I actually know someone there now.
Oh, okay.
My daughter, my 23-year-old daughter, she moved to Salt Lake a year ago.
Oh, it's beautiful.
And
yeah.
she now has a fiance
Oh, congrats.
who's
Okay.
from Park City, went to Park City High School.
Oh, okay.
And so I could go maybe when they get married.
Yes.
Because so how does that? Am I allowed to stay at? Are his in-laws or are his parents my in-laws now? Am I really?
I guess that's
And
how
do
that
they
works.
have to let me stay at their house when
I mean,
go
now
to
that
there?
if they tune into the show, I feel like they're obligated.
Right. Well, they haven't tuned in yet, so maybe they're.
Well, that sounds like a great sign. No, I think so.
That would be awesome. Yeah.
Yeah, there's a lot to do up there. It's built up a lot in the last 20 years, I'd say, and there's plenty of places to stay. Just book stuff in advance because it sells out.
Right.
But it's cool, and the little neighboring mountain towns are really funny. So to traumatize me, when we first moved, my parents and I went from San Diego to there. They drove us through a place called Camas, Utah. It was up in the mountains, and they didn't have a Dairy Queen. They had like a Dairy Keen. Like it was, and then I see all these guys walking around in orange vests, and I'm like, I don't understand the construction. Like, what are they working on? Like, because it was random. They were like at the grocery store, and then this guy's in an orange vest at the gas station, and we figured out later that they were hunters. I'd never seen that before.
Yeah.
I felt like I was on another planet or something. Like, what are all these guys wearing orange? Like, what are they working on? You know what I mean?
Right.
But that was the smallest town I've been to was Camas, Utah. So skip that, but do Park City.
Park City sounds good.
Yeah.
Park City sounds like a fancy small town.
It is. So if you want to be treated like a superstar, don't go during Sundance. Go during the summer. And they have like 2-for-1 dining at these 4-star restaurants.
Oh, nice.
Or like people have like the Michelin stars. I guess it would be 5-star.
Okay.
And really good chefs. It's kind of like a resort town because it's a big ski town.
Right.
And so they have kind of like how Las Vegas is, where they'll have chefs, the best chefs from all over the world kind of thing in their restaurants. Like they have that. And so they'll do like Taste of Park City. And they have something called an Alpine Slide where you can like, what they do with the mountains when people aren't doing ski season, it's like a concrete thing, like you do like a bobsled. Yeah.
Oh wow.
Go with your family, like you'd love it.
That would be great.
Yeah, it's just fun. So that's another time you could go too, because it's just a cute small town, but there's a lot of fun things to do there.
Okay.
Yeah. So it's got the same vibe, but with entertainment.
Right. Okay.
Like with more to do, I guess.
Right.
Yeah. So I actually liked them. I had to stop back over there.
That's awesome. Yeah.
You should go with her. So you did mention you went to a private school, but in general in your life, is there something you've ever been in trouble for?
You
got a lot of energy, Chris.
Well, yeah, I used to get in trouble a lot in school, especially like because trying to make people laugh, and then I'd always be told, "Chris, it is not time for funny, Chris."
It's not time for funny, Chris.
Yeah.
It's always time for funny,
It's
Chris.
not time for funny, Chris. So I would get in trouble a lot for being funny. I remember like a lot of times I get in trouble. Like I get in trouble for trying to be funny. Like I've gotten better when I'm older. I'm smarter. I know when it's time for funny, Chris, when it's not time for funny, Chris.
I think it's always time for funny,
but
Chris.
I've got like
maybe not at a funeral. That'd be probably like the only
right. Well, I've learned
during wedding vows
or a quinceañera. I got in trouble.
No,
I got in trouble when I was a teenager. I went to a quinceañera and we were having fun.
Did you crash it or were you invited?
No, I was invited.
Okay, that's different.
But
it helps.
I put cake in one of the girls' faces, or they put
oh, you were that guy.
But they put cake in my face.
You were like John Belushi.
Yeah, and then I put cake in her face, and then I got in trouble, and it's like I ruined I made the event about me, and so
wow.
Yeah, so I've learned from that lesson. I don't go to quinceañeras anymore. I'm not invited.
No, I know. Yeah, I worked one once at a bartender, and we ran out of beer in like 30 minutes.
Oh
like,
my gosh! Yeah, this one didn't have alcohol.
Tecate or something.
Oh, nice.
Is that the one? What's the Mexican beer?
Corona, Modelo, Tecate.
It is Tecate.
Tecate Light.
Yeah. Sorry to look at you, Martin, but you didn't mention it yesterday. Yeah, and I also did try to buy a dress at a quinceañera, so I didn't know that's where I was.
Oh,
And
yeah.
they were not friendly to me.
Uh-huh.
And all the things were like puffy and like blue. And I'm like, what is going on? Like, I like shiny things. I just
Right,
went in there
right.
because I'm like, I see shiny things. And
Uh-huh.
they're like, you are not 15, lady, and you're going to rip something if you try to put it on. And I'm trying to
Ah,
shove myself in
that's
something fluffy.
I think whoever wants a quinceañera dress should be allowed to have one.
I think
don't know.
so.
Call me old-fashioned.
You seem like the kind of guy that would rock like a colored tuxedo or something, or like a
Yep.
plaid.
I just love to do things different.
Suit.
I love Dumb and Dumber. I would love
Right?
to
That's
do
what I was
like,
thinking
yeah,
of.
like
That would be you.
Lloyd and I
Yeah.
forget what their name is, but yeah, I would totally rock an orange tuxedo. Why be
Yeah.
normal?
Yeah, I
Normal's
agree.
not fun. Be different. Be yourself.
Yes. Yeah. I'm very different also, but you're definitely a unique brand of different. That's for sure.
Yeah, definitely. It took me a long time to be okay with that because like sometimes you're afraid to be different because people don't like it or it scares them, and then it's like they're like you're stupid, and then you start thinking, well, maybe I am stupid. Maybe I should just shut up. And
Right.
then, but now I'm just like, you know what? No, this
Hey, you
is
get paid
me.
to talk.
This is you. This is
Yeah.
And I'm just gonna be my different. I'm gonna give
Yeah.
it to people, and the people that
Absolutely.
like it are gonna love it, and the people that
Absolutely.
don't, they don't have to.
Well,
Listen.
I almost feel like, from what I've noticed, the people that get picked on at school for being different are probably the ones that end up shining later. Just saying.
Oh, well.
Yeah.
Oh, there's another country song that I love. It's called Toby Keith. How do you like me now? How do you like me now? And it's basically about how he was in high school and like this
Yeah.
girl would always like make fun of him
Yeah.
and everything. But now he's like, how do you like me now?
Right.
Now that I'm on my way.
Yeah.
Do you still think I'm crazy? Standing here today. Do you want me to keep going? Or?
I mean, no.
I think
but
those
you
are
can
all
if
the
you want
lyrics
to.
I know. I love country music, but I only know like 5 lyrics to every country song, and then I make up the rest.
You get me beat, but
Okay.
you are their DJ. So
I am the
I'd hope
DJ,
you know. Yeah, I love when you said something one day, or maybe it was. I think I don't want to give it away, but I think it's part of your special where people call into you and they're trying to tell you a song to play, but they don't know the name of it.
Yeah, the hardest part about being a radio DJ or a country radio DJ is when they call in, and this happens a lot, and they're like, yeah, I don't know who sings it or the title, and then they just describe the song. It's like they all sound very similar.
Oh.
And so it's
How do they describe it, Chris?
Well, I want mama. I heard the song. I don't know how it goes, but it's about mama, trucks, freedom, America, beer,
my dog,
whiskey, my dog, girls, and mama.
Wow. You're like, well, I've got about 75 songs that have all of those things.
Is
it
like
a quick search? Can you enter like
here
a database?
For the party? No. Is it I like to party? No. Is it friends in low places? That might be it. All right, let me play it for you. Nope, that wasn't it. Keep trying.
Wow. Do you ever play things to mess with them, like Miley Cyrus's cover of like Jolene or anything like that?
No,
would you get in trouble?
So I try I've never been in radio before. So my station manager, I basically everything he tells me, I'm just like, all right, So I just follow what he tells me to do, and he's like, this is our format. Don't mess with the format with the song. So it's like I'm so thankful to have the job, and he gives me so much freedom in other ways. I'm just like, no, whatever music you tell me to play, I'll play. I just I don't want to get in trouble and lose my dream job.
No, it's great, and you're good at it, and you're doing so many things at once while you're in there. Looks like you're landing a plane. Like I saw some behind the scenes, but he's plugging this in, he's doing this. Like you're plugging things and pushing things and touching the phone. And
I don't know if any of that's necessary, but it's just my own nervous tics I do.
Oh,
I'm
sorry.
Just kidding.
I'm like, he's got Tourette's,
but
you guys.
Answer the phone. Like a regular, like big morning show, I think you probably have a producer that answers the phone for you and do that. But it's like I'm wearing many hats.
You do.
I'm producer Chris, host Chris. Camera Chris, cardiologist Chris, business Chris.
I love that. Just don't be mammogram Chris, or you're gonna
get in trouble with my wife.
Right? Yeah, she sounds like a good time.
She is awesome.
Did you wear anything really festive for your wedding? One or two of them?
So both our weddings were way like not stereotypical weddings. First one.
Oh, tell me everything.
So first one,
when you're 19.
19, she got pregnant.
Okay.
And so we were going to get married at my parents' house, and we got in a fight with my parents. And
Don't know why.
Huh?
Were they upset for any reason?
Yeah, they were upset.
Parents do that.
They were losing their baby boy. And so we ended up getting married at her sister's in-laws' parents' backyard in Tempe, and our cake was like a sheet cake from Costco.
Okay.
And then we had just a justice of the peace come, and I think
Nice.
all her family was there. My sisters were there. My parents were there.
Sounds Mormon. Are you guys
Yeah.
Mormon?
Well, so my wife was raised Mormon. I was
knew
raised
it.
Catholic.
I knew it.
And we
I
only
was
have
living in
2
Utah,
kids.
yeah.
We suck
Okay.
at both religions.
Fail. Epic fail. I've
Um,
been to a lot of Mormon weddings.
Oh,
So I was like,
really?
that sounds exactly. Was there a punch bowl?
yeah, it would have been at a steak center, but my parents
Yes.
were so mad I was marrying a Mormon because they feel like they wasted so much money on my private Catholic education.
But they saved it on the alcohol.
Yeah, they're like, we spent all that money and you're gonna marry a Mormon? I'm like, is that why you sent me to Catholic school?
Are
And
you
so
wearing garments right now, Chris?
no, I don't wear the garments.
Okay.
I'm like I would be like a
I guess
Jack Mormon.
Well, it would affect the burlesque show, I
Yes.
think, negatively.
Yeah,
Okay.
people be like, what's that? And then the second marriage is probably my favorite one. This one, my wife and my daughters came to visit me in LA for a week, and I don't know how much information I want to tell you. But
you're repositioning in the seat.
well, so okay.
Tell me all the things. I'm getting close
I
to the
don't
mic.
think my wife's gonna watch it. But no sex until marriage, even the second time.
Oh, she's like, we're gonna wait again.
Yeah, but I think it was smart. I'm glad she did that. But so they were visiting us, and then
She was making you really earn the trust back.
and so when she was visiting us,
So you're in the doghouse till the wedding.
when she's visiting us, and I was like, we were like, Google 24-hour marriage. And so we found someone that would marry us in 24 hours.
That's funny.
And then we went to the top of the Griffith Observatory.
Oh, in LA?
In LA.
Oh, cool.
With
like La La Land.
Yeah, and just with our little dude, our little minister man, and our daughters were there. My roommate, Leah, the pretty Steve Buscemi, she was our camera person. And we had the ceremony there. And then after that, we went and just my daughters, my wife, and Leah, we went and had pizza. And then went back to the condo.
There you go. You're like,
and got remarried again.
Second honeymoon. That's
Second
so exciting.
honeymoon.
That's so funny. That's really cool. Did you wear anything exciting for that one? Not the
No,
honeymoon
so
part,
back then I wasn't like as cool as I am now. So I dressed.
So this got
This
more,
is new. This is Sholo. This is all a result of Mountain Chris. I was Big City Chris.
Surprised you're not doing plaid.
Big City Chris was kind of boring.
I did look at your old pictures on Facebook, and I was like, "Who is that?
Who is that? That's Big City Chris."
Wow.
Yeah, he wore lame
He looked
clothes.
a little stuffy.
I dressed like my dad.
Polos from Costco?
Polos from Costco.
Gross.
Pants from Costco.
Man sandals? Did you have any Velcro sandals?
No, I've never been a sandal guy because, again,
the toes.
The toes, I'm very self-conscious about my feet. Also, I'm like a cheetah, and I like to be able to run, and you can't really run in sandals very well.
Have you considered maybe a little contour on the bunion? I feel like it's slimming.
How? What do you
Spray
mean
tan
contour?
Just like spray tan the side of it.
Just tan my foot, or I could just keep my
the
socks
side
on.
of the bunion, it'll just taper it.
But no one's even seen it. I keep.
I've seen it. Now that I've seen it,
you've seen it.
I'm gonna think about this for the next 3 days.
Oh dang it! I shouldn't.
I'm not gonna sleep. I'm just gonna try to fall asleep, but I was gonna have a vision of your bunion pop in my head.
You and my dad are giving me a complex on my bunion.
No, it's okay. It makes me feel better about mine.
Oh, good. You have bunions too?
Just one.
Just one.
I named it Sid.
Oh, really?
Yeah, it's my Frankenfoot.
Maybe I should name. I don't know. And it's like
I earned mine with footwear. I don't know what the hell you did to yourself.
I know.
I didn't know that was possible for a dude.
I've lived such a life of leisure that it's amazing that my feet, because I've never done any. Like I always keep socks on. I've never done hard labor. And
You're like,
stuff.
why are my
Look at my hands. Look how you think my legs are nice and hairless. Look at my hands.
I mean, yeah, that's a real desk job look.
Yeah. And my wife is like the man of the relationship. She does all the repairs around the house.
Wow.
I'm just a little Southern belle. I'm just a little
with your fainting couch. You have a fainting couch like this?
Oh dear. Oh honey.
It's hot in here.
I would change those light bulbs, but I'm getting the dizzies.
Do you at least kill the bugs?
Oh no.
Chris.
So I did kill one and I felt super good about it. and it was awesome. I killed 2, like, and so I felt like super manly. One time, and I felt
How big was the bug?
it was about an inch. It was a big spider.
All right, I'll give you an inch.
The scariest one was there was a tarantula.
No, you
And
made her get it.
Well, my mother-in-law got it for me.
Chris.
I know. She said, "Thank you, Yvette, for keeping me safe." But my mother-in-law lives with me. Not to make anyone jealous. They're probably like, "Gosh, this guy has it all."
Do they feed you grapes too?
No,
This feels like
that
a
would
weird
be-
episode of Star Trek where like everything's reversed and like the women are like the manly ones, and you're just like,
Oh,
I just get to lay here in my onesie.
Yes.
What do you call that? Your unitard? What are you wearing when you do burlesque?
my brokini.
Your brokini.
Brokini. It's so funny. Those guys, their company, you go to their website, like I think it's a bunch of friends that started it. It's a fun thing.
That's funny.
And so they have like on their website how much money they've lost so far
How
doing
much
their
money they've
brokinis.
lost.
And
And
I shared a
brokinis.
video of me doing the burlesque thing, and they're like, "Hey, we're so glad you're wearing it, and we're not the only ones."
Oh my god.
I'm like, I'll wear them all day.
Besides comedy, I don't know if I asked you this yet, but do you have in the radio, obviously, do you have any other unique talents?
I could sing a lot of popular pop songs in
Like, do
the
you have a
most
nice singing
Spanish
voice?
that I know. No, I don't have a good singing voice, but I can sing popular English songs
Okay.
in as much Spanish as I know. Like, give me a song, and I'll try and sing it.
Party in
as
the
much as-
USA?
Oh, this is perfect. Party in the USA. I put my caballos up, bailaring my song. Butterflies fly away, moving my hips like, yeah. It's a fiesta in the Estados Unidos. Great, give me another
Worth it.
one.
Oh gosh, pop songs. Oh, do you know? Oh, let's see. I don't know. I don't know pop songs. What about Ooh, what about the Electric Slide? Is that a pop
The
song?
Electric Slide.
That's more like a wedding dance.
It's
song.
electric. Ooga ooga booga.
No, that's more for
yeah. I don't know
sounds.
how you'd sing that in Spanish. It's electrica. Okay. Ay, 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 ay. Maybe that's
Worth it.
I,
Worth it. Oh, that's so funny. I don't listen to a lot of pop. What's another one? Oh, isn't there one with like NSYNC? Don't they do Bye Bye Bye?
all right. Yeah. How do I say? Bye bye bye. Adios adios adios.
Oh yeah.
Bye 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 bye. If you wanna throw me,
That is a talent. Wow.
Bye. Adios adios. Bye bye
Wow.
bye bye. That's pretty good.
Now
Yeah.
that you've done that,
Uh-huh.
we can try to get this show on Telemundo. So
Heck
thank you
yes.
for bringing
That
the
would
show
be
to the next
good.
level.
Whoop whoop whoop.
Wow, that is a hidden talent.
Thank you.
Let's keep it
And-
hidden.
Yeah. Okay. And then what
I'm
other?
kidding.
I know a lot more about.
What's your favorite pop
sports.
song to sing in Spanish?
My favorite. Oh well, I love a lot of Cyndi Lauper.
Oh yeah.
Girls just want to have fun.
Let's hear that one.
Chicas just want to have divertido. Oh, chicas just want to have divertido.
That's better.
Also, True Colors.
Oh.
I see your true colors, and that's why I am more too.
And you get a lighter
So
out.
don't be miedo to let them show. I see your true colors.
Wow.
That's why I am more. Pretty good, yeah. And
I mean that I got
get
chills.
sentimental, yeah. Well,
Absolute
that one took me a long time. I'm also really good.
That was Chris.
I went to Air
Should've warned me.
Juilliard. Yeah, I know.
My.
I could play any instrument. Air. That's another talent of mine.
Can I see the air triangle?
This easy. Gosh, I learned this like my first semester at Air Juilliard. Hold on.
The air Juilliard. Oh, that was. Yeah, I can almost hear it. That looks.
Well,
great.
it works better when there's music going along with it, because then it looks like
Yes.
I'm really. When there's no music going along with it, it looks like I'm just an
Okay.
idiot. But when there's music going on and I'm
Wow.
really jamming, like
Wow.
sometimes people are like, "Is he really playing it?"
Wow.
My air piano is really good.
I like that.
Yeah,
That's
Like-
like puppet-like.
yeah. A lot of people think when you play air piano, you want to make it look like you're really playing. No,
No.
I like to. I
It's more
learned how to.
gothic, I'd say.
I learned how to play air instruments from all the Muppets.
Yeah, that's
So,
what it looks
yeah.
like.
Mhm.
I like that. Do you ever incorporate these things if you're like dancing at a party or a wedding or?
Yeah, I'm
Is that part of
always
your
the
move
silly
repertoire?
goofy guy. Yes.
Okay, I'm sure your
Um,
wife loves that too, right?
Oh yeah, my wife is my biggest fan, and she's like more of a
Good.
wallflower, and so she
Oh,
loves when I like do
Perfect.
crazy things, and all the eyes just dart to me, and then she
So-
just kind of sits back and just watches
like, yeah,
everyone,
that one's mine.
and she watches everyone react to me.
My
And-
husband's like that too. He was on the dance floor at our wedding, and ours was a New Year's Eve wedding, Gatsby themed.
Oh
and,
my gosh!
But I knew I gave him a top hat as a surprise. And I knew not to give it to him until like 11 p.m. because I knew he'd wear it in all the photos and be goofy all
Right.
night. And I was right, and so I gave it to him, and he was like 3 sheets to the wind by 1 a.m. And he was out there breakdancing and dancing and popping and locking by himself with the top hat on. And he found an umbrella from somebody and he incorporated that into the routine. Just out there by himself, just feeling
He's
himself.
living his best
just-
life. Don't
Yes.
hold back. I love it.
It was pretty great. Another thing I wanted to ask you: when did you know that you wanted to be a comedian? Like, when did you first know?
So, I've been thinking about this a lot, Lauren. Thanks for asking.
Yeah, very
Um,
introspective today.
let's see. Well, I remember for some reason, I remember the first time like I like made a bunch of kids laugh. I was in 4th grade, and
Aw.
I loved that
So you're
feeling.
the class clown?
Yeah.
Good.
And then so I was always the class clown,
Same.
and then I think when I was 12, 13, I started watching Saturday Night Live,
yes.
and I fell in love with
Yes.
and I'd always do their skits all the time. And then when I was a freshman in high school, we had a theater class and we would do like improv games. I always loved the comedy related stuff better. And like luckily at the school I went to, the only plays they did were comedies. Where it's
Mhm.
like a lot of times in high schools they do musicals, and it's
Right.
like I didn't want that.
No.
We did comedy, and the first play was this play called
the air instruments. Yeah,
no,
too hard.
The Actor's Nightmare was the first play I ever did, and
Oh.
I was the lead, and the
Oh.
lead had this huge monologue, and the premise of the play is this guy, he's really an actor, but he's having this nightmare that he wakes up and he's an accountant, and he's in a play and he doesn't know what play he's in, and he's trying to figure it out. So it was very stand-up-esque, like on stage. And so when I did that, I was like, all right, well, I want to do something like this. And I started watching more stand up.
Right.
And so in high school is when I really knew I wanted to do it. And then when I met my wife, I told her, I'm like, I'm thinking I want to do it. And I didn't, it took till I was like 20, like a bunch of years thinking about it I think I was 22 till I
Okay.
first went up. And then that was the worst because I was so bad. And I was like, oh.
Where was your first show?
It was 2002 at the Tempe Improv.
Oh,
And-
that's a big theater.
Well, so
that was your first show?
Well, the Tempe Improv, what they used to do was on Sundays
oh,
after the
brave.
headliner, and Mark Curry hanging with Mr. Coop. He was the headliner.
oh, I met him at the Comedy Store.
Yeah, he's awesome.
cool.
And so they would have an open mic after the show. And I didn't write anything down. I just thought you went up and were funny. And also, I didn't know the etiquette of comedy. And so I went up
no.
and I made fun of the lady before me, and not realizing that she brought 50 people in the audience.
Oh,
And then they started yelling at me, and I was only on
throwing
stage.
tomatoes. Like,
I was
where'd they
like-
get tomatoes?
I was like,
At the
oh, guys,
Improv."
that's my time. And I'd only been on stage for like 20 seconds. So that was my first time. And then it took me like, I had to wait 6 months. I was like, all right, maybe I do need
Were
to
you pissing
write
yourself on your way off the stage?
I
or-
was of course, like all my friends were like, that was hilarious, dude. I'm like, yeah, it was.
Oh, it was
hilarious
great.
for
It
you.
was so great. Oh no, that's actually really terrible and funny.
Yeah, yeah.
But I'm glad. But you know what? You got back up there,
Yeah,
and we're so glad you did.
if you don't quit, you might make it.
Well, yeah. And
So I'm not
glad.
gonna quit.
And like I said, you're one of the. I know a lot of funny people. I've been in comedy for about 11 years now. I know a lot of funny people, but you are a true entertainer. I love watching you. I've never seen anybody like you on stage. Like, you're big energy. Like, I don't like to move around that much. Like, I don't like sweating in public. Like, you get into it. You're good though. You did some improv stuff though.
Yep, and then I was a theater major at ASU.
Makes sense. Yeah.
I took classes like the theater movement for the stage,
right.
and so like a lot of the things that classes I've taken in my life, I think just naturally come in
Yeah.
to my
very
act
fun.
and stuff.
And speaking of SNL, tell everybody what you did last night.
Yeah, you and me, girl.
No, this is your time to shine. Tell about you.
So last night they had at the Mic Drop Mania, they had two showcase shows for Kenan Thompson Presents VIP Access.
Very cool.
It's a yearly contest they do, and this year they're taking comics to New York, to SNL as a guest of
Yes.
Kenan Thompson. So they're going around the country doing these showcases, trying to look at as much talent, and then hopefully pick a few people to take to New York, maybe put on tour. So I got to be on that showcase last night.
Awesome.
You were on the 9 o'clock show, and so we got to do
Was
4-minute
It's
sets.
a blur. I remember being tired this morning. I didn't remember why, but I remember you did great.
Oh, thank you. It was like the crowds were great. They were super hot, and all
was
the comedians.
packed.
Yeah, it was packed.
We didn't have a place to sit. Like
No.
sometimes they'll have like a booth for the comedians. Like we were hanging out by the bathroom last. Like there was
Yeah.
nowhere to be. It was so full. The patio was full.
Yeah,
The sidewalk was full. It was just
it was fun.
crazy. It
and
was
that-
the craziest for a small venue. It's a smaller room.
Yeah, and they had during my show they had 2 shows going on.
I was sitting on the bar.
Oh, really?
I don't think I was
wow.
supposed to be, but I was.
Yeah,
I was like
yeah.
Elf on the Shelf last night. I was like, "Give me all your booze."
But yeah, it was a lot of fun. It was so so cool to see so many Arizona comics, and everyone just went up and
Yes.
killed it. Just 4 minutes. It was rapid fire comedy, and it was
Yeah.
and it's so cool to be invited to be a part of that.
Yeah.
As a
Well, I have if I could pick, you would be who I'd pick to go.
well, that
So
would be I would love that.
I hope that you do. But if not, I think the right people probably saw you, and I think you should keep going for it.
Yeah,
you
I'm
know?
just gonna.
You'd
keep
be great on
going.
there because you do the improv stuff too.
Oh,
I mean, I know you love where you live, but
that was my dream. That's always been my number one dream. I basically, I gave up on that dream. Didn't but if it happened,
Well,
that would be so cool.
Everyone has a plan for their lives, and I think God has the ultimate timing, and it just might need to be different timing than
Right.
we expect too. We all want everything right
On
now,
our
but
time, yeah.
absolutely. But can you imagine if you tried to do that like 20 years ago?
No. My chicken needed to marinate a little longer.
Right? But yeah, you're really good. And then and you sound really, really happy with your life, which is rare these days, and someone just is happy where they're at and content. But is there anything else, like if you had another dream on top of this, like anything else you want to do in the future?
Well, I would just like to build on what I have. I would
Yeah.
like to build my fan base. I want to stay in Sholo. I would love for that to
Okay.
be my hub. I would love to.
Yeah.
If we're dreaming, I'd love to have you have the Lauren Rachel show. I'd love to have my my morning brew show, but on a
Yes.
huge national level. I would love to. I want to go on tour this year. I want to just continue doing more stand up.
Yeah.
And I mean, my ultimate dream, yes, I would love to be a cast member of Saturday Night Live, or but ultimately,
I think they'd be crazy not to pick you. I don't want to piss off my friends.
Oh,
We had a
who
lot.
knows?
All of our
There's so many-
literally all of our friends were there last night.
yeah, no, everyone's amazing, and it's like whatever.
But I mean, you
happens,
run
happens.
laps on the freaking stage. I've never seen anything like that. Like I think, can we start some sort of petition or something, so we can get some wireless mics, because I just feel like the entanglement alone.
Oh, really? I love the wire.
You do?
I think I'm just old fashioned, and it's what
I'm always
it's what
playing
I'm
with
used to.
it.
That's what I love. I'm fidgety. I love to do things with
Okay.
it, and
You
and
like to
also
tie yourself up on stage a bit too. Okay.
and I've always had problems with wireless mics, because you never know if the battery's going to go out.
Yeah, that's happened
or
to me
thing.
during things.
And
yeah.
so I just I'm a hardwire type guy, just plug it in directly. And
I'm always afraid to move
Okay.
the damn thing, because I had one show where I accidentally turned the mic off during the show. I had no idea how to turn it back on.
oh yeah, that's the worst.
Some guy had to jump up on there on stage with me. I'm like, oh, cool. So this is like a 2-person thing now. And it was at a time when I was doing sign language as part of my act.
Oh,
I was like, well,
really?
this was for the deaf crowd. So it worked, but it was awkward.
One time I was at Stir Crazy, and they have the wire plugged into the ground.
Yeah.
And I was moving so much that I literally pulled it up out of the ground, and
Oh, no.
they had Brian Kotz, who had to come and plug it back in for me.
Oh, I was at that show.
Oh yeah,
I was at that show. You did a spin or
I
something.
did a spin, and it
You
pulled out.
guys, when I say he's an entertainer, I mean he's an entertainer. The guy, it's like a dance thing and a comedy show. That's hilarious. Yeah, you did. You did a spin, and you're like, oh, we had to have help. Final question for the day.
Yes.
Because you've got a long
Heading
road
back
ahead
to
of you.
Sholo.
What do you do to keep yourself entertained while you drive or travel?
So I love driving, which is good because I do a lot of it.
You do. Your poor car.
I love listening to some podcasts. I love Fly on the Wall with Dana Carvey and David Spade,
Oh,
and it's
cool. I didn't know they had a
Oh,
podcast.
dude, it's an
Shit, if I didn't know about that, no one's gonna know about this.
I'm an SNL nut, and
Yeah.
they are
Is there a fly
they.
in it?
Oh,
Sorry.
I thought you said, "Is your fly down?" No, there's a fly in here. My fly is up there.
I wasn't looking, but now that you pointed at it, I'm just gonna focus on the eyes.
But it's an awesome podcast where it started as like everyone in the world of SNL, so former cast members,
cool.
former
Fly on the
writers,
wall. Okay. How fun.
former guests, and it's a lot of fun. So I listen to podcasts. I listen to a lot of music. I do a lot of like talking to myself.
Okay.
And weird stuff. I'm glad there's not a camera in there.
Maybe you should.
Maybe I should.
A little behind the scenes.
Yeah, people would probably commit me to a mental
like,
institution. They're like, "Oh, he's talking to someone."
Do you,
right now.
okay, let me ask.
Because I do talk.
Sorry,
to people.
you're attracting. No, I'm just kidding. Martin, there is a fly in here. What kind of place is this? I mean, really, we have the VIP trailer now. This, I don't know. I just
in the Murder Shack.
Mixed messages is all I'm saying.
in the Murder Shack, that's where I do my morning show. It's a construction trailer. We had a hornet's nest.
Oh,
so
no.
like this is nothing. So
you're like crickets in there in the morning, and you're like, my jokes are funny. Come on. No, that's funny. Yeah, you should do some behind the scenes stuff. I was gonna ask you, do you have an actual inner monologue, or are you one of those people that you have to talk stuff out as you're thinking?
No, I do have an inner monologue.
Do you hear your own voice in your head?
Mm-hmm. Like I'll talk to myself. I hear things, but then like.
But do you hear your own voice when you think about things?
I don't think so.
So you don't
listen.
That's
well, maybe I do. I don't know. I hear things like right now. It's like my brain's saying, "Listen for me," and I don't hear anything. Like I don't hear a voice, but I know what I'm saying.
So you don't. That's why you talk so much.
Oh,
my husband's the same way. So I hear things in my own voice. My inner monologue.
Oh, really? No.
It sounds like the way you hear me. It sounds like this.
Oh, really?
I'm doing it right now.
Oh, and you can hear yourself.
Yes.
Yeah, not me. No, I have to talk it out, and then sometimes, like, especially if I'm thinking of a joke or I'm like thinking of a situation, I become the people in my story.
So my first encounter with someone like that was my husband, and I honestly thought he was schizophrenic. Like, especially in the morning, he'd be down in the kitchen like yelling and talking about stuff, and I'm like, especially watching things and on his phone or whatever, and I go, honey, do you hear voices? Like I asked him, he's like, no. I was like, who the fuck are you talking to? Like, who are you talking to, dude? Like what? Yeah. And it's his. He doesn't have a monologue. No inner monologue.
My wife said, "Where are you?" Oh, I'm just pretending to talk to someone right now.
Yeah, I did like a quiz online about this, like a poll basically, and it was something like a quarter of the people don't have an inner monologue where you hear your own voice.
Oh, interesting. I didn't know that.
Yeah, it's
don't say you don't learn something on the Lauren Rachel.
That's why you talk to yourself in the car.
Yes.
Good to know. Fun fact, you guys.
And I love making weird noises.
Okay.
Making myself laugh. So I'm like
fart sounds, sometimes actual farts. Yeah.
Yeah.
While you're driving. This is great for the podcast portion of this, for the audio only. Thank you. It's like that. Was that what do they call that? Where you listen to sounds to fall asleep?
Oh yeah, what is that
SMR?
called? SMR maybe. ESL is English.
ASMR. I'm gonna listen to you do that. Here, do some ASMR before we leave. So soothing. I'm getting sleepy already. There it is. That was. You sound like you're gumming the microphone. Disgusting. That's been fun. Thank you for that. All right, before we go, tell everyone again how they find your YouTube special.
Yes, my YouTube special, Small Town Famous. It's on YouTube, Chris Bennett Comedy Official. All my social handles, TikTok, Instagram, Facebook, Chris Bennett Comedy. My website is chrisbennettcomedy.com. You could also, my specials on there as well. If you don't want to go to YouTube, go to chrisbennettcomedy.com. But if you do watch it, if you could like, comment, share, that would mean so much.
And subscribe,
And subscribe.
To the channel. That'd be lovely.
People are like, why does he need this? It's just those little free things you could do to help comics. You open up other doors for us. More people will see it.
Yes.
And so it's very helpful.
And you can watch the footage of this later on the Lauren Rachel YouTube channel. And also the Lauren Rachel talk show is on all of the streaming platforms.
Heck yeah.
You want to listen to it in the car, not just talk to yourself later.
Nope. Next time I'm driving down to the valley, I'm going to listen to your own episode. My own episode.
You're going to get sleepy with ASMR stuff.
I listen to my own.
Like,
so I love watching
is that me gumming the microphone? Oh, my eyes are getting heavy.
Let me pull over, take a nap.
This has been fun. Thank you
Thank
for
you
being
so
here.
much.
It's an honor. I'm like I said, I'm a big fan of yours, so
Aw.
I'm so excited that you're here. So thank you for being here. I
Thank
really
you, best
appreciate
friend.
you.
I love
Yes.
you.
I'll hug your foot later.
Okay.
Okay. Bye, everybody.
Bye, best friends.
Thanks for tuning into the Laura and Rachel Talk Show.
Oh, and then I do have a podcast. I forgot.
Oh, mention your podcast before
Well,
we go.
I'm not very good at putting it out, but it's called Small Town Radio Calls, and I take basically
I'm back. Hold on.
phone calls from my radio show, like my top calls from the week, or some calls that maybe were too spicy
What was it
for
called
the
again?
radio. It's called Small Town Radio phone calls.
And where can I find that?
On any platform, any
Small Town Radio Calls. That's fun.
Small Town Radio phone calls.
Okay.
So, and it's just you get a little peek into the small town radio life. Here's some calls that made the radio, some that didn't. And
Well, you get some characters that call in.
Oh, I have the best friends. So many characters, and they're all so unique and so much fun. And yeah, so it's a lot of fun.
My favorite was the dentures episode, though. People calling in about their, we call it pressure fit? What do they call it?
Comfort fit. Comfort
I
fit
guess pressure fit
dentures.
would be not good.
No, comfort fit. You'll be comfortable always. Yes. I love
How do they stick any?
Well, he's amazing. Now this is becoming an infomercial for Dr. Arnaud, but he specializes just on dentures. So a lot of times people put glue in their home on, but he makes them so good that you don't need glue.
They just fit, and you can eat food with them?
Yep. Like there's people, I have friends that can eat apples now.
Oh, yeah, that lady. She was so excited.
Yeah. So, well, it is. It's a huge thing. Imagine not being able to eat your favorite foods and then all of a sudden being able to eat your favorite foods again. It's like a life-changing experience.
One year, my grandfather wrapped his up and gave him to me as a Christmas gift, and I never forgot it. It was very traumatic. So shout out to Grandpa Hoppy. All right. Thanks for being here and all of his best friends.
All right, best friends. Thank you. I love you guys.
Eat an apple and think of us today.
Bill Mooter, Brian Willis.
Bye.
Dustin Wood, Joey G. Wiz, Chris Federico. So many best friends.
Right?
Thank you, best friend. Man, this is awesome. You guys have quite the outfit. Super professional.
Appreciate it.